According to anthropologist Helen Fisher, our primitive emotional response to emotional and sexual fidelity are driven by our core biology and its gender-defined challenges and concerns. For instance, men rate a physical affair of their partner as being worse than an emotional affair. This is because a physical affair reveals the threat of cuckolding and signals that a child he may be investing in may not be his. For men, the fear of physical cheating is more pressing because they are worried their DNA may not be carried on if their partner was cheating on them with another man. For women, the emotional side always stands out. Women feel threatened by a partner having an emotional affair more than a physical because then their resources will be scarce, protection and assistance to her and child will be withdrawn. In a journal by professors, the traumatic effects of cheating are outlined for both the cheater and the one being cheated on. They discuss the idea that infidelity is really any behavior that disrupts the contract that a couple has written with each other. This contract outlines the boundaries for each couple and what constitutes infidelity for each person, as this definition will always be different. They then say that cheating can impair the trust, connection, and intimacy level within couples, altering what once may have been a strong relationship. The sudden lack of trust and lack of connection can also lead to a hierarchy within a once equal and loving relationship. The authors discuss that this hierarchy may be created because the one who was cheated on may feel that they are at a higher moral standing than the one who has cheated. Additionally, being cheated on can defeat one's sense of self-purpose. If they believe they were there to please and support their partner, they may feel as though they failed. Helen Fisher states men cheat more for biological reasons, for principles that resemble that of survival of the fittest, to pass on their DNA to varied individuals. Her studies reveal women are biologically more invested in the idea of emotional cheating because they may worry that their future children will grow up without a father. The woman would then lack part of a support system for her children, making the prospects of losing her partner more worrying. When women cheat, men risk losing their bloodlines, meaning their DNA, because it will not be carried on to the next generation. This notion pushes men to be more defensive when it comes to being cheated on. The idea is to discourage women from cheating, so when it comes time to procreate, the man does not have to be concerned with not being the biological father of a baby. This system of defense can feed into an already sexist idea of women being there solely for birthing. With this, calling women demeaning names like slut and giving them labels when they cheat alters the culture to create a greater assurance that women will not cheat. This idea is outlined in a journal by economist Bruce Elmsey, where they discuss the economics of cheating for men and women. They do this by analyzing the cost-benefit calculation for both men and women. They explain that for men, there is a larger risk when one is cheated on. If a man is to risk losing his bloodline, he needs to find any way possible to stop this process. The cost outweighs the benefit in this case. This model of reasoning is often justified because there is a societal belief that men have more of a right to be defensive, especially because when a woman cheats, she has a greater chance of her benefits outweighing her costs. For example, if she sexually cheats on her partner with a man who holds a better and stronger gene pool, this may provide benefits for a child if she becomes pregnant. Women often have more to gain from having an affair, creating higher scrutiny around female infidelity and reinforcing a standard for male defense. When men were asked about hypothetical sexual cheating, it was seen that a man being cheated on was worse, even though women endured a much more emotionally painful experience. The researchers stated that women may experience greater losses in terms of sense of self, higher stress rates, and more general unhappiness after being cheated on or cheating. These biological assumptions lead to societal perspectives on gendered inequalities of infidelity. Although cheating can happen from either person within a relationship, there is a defined double standard between how women and men are perceived after cheating on their partners. There are many studies and journals published that justify men's incentive to cheat through biological terms. Because of this, men are often portrayed as winners, players, and are taught to boast about their acts of infidelity. They often do not receive harsh criticism for their actions, whereas women are then seen as whores, dirty, messy, and lacking self-control. This double standard limits a conversation around the effects of cheating and the harm it can do to one's psyche. Not having this conversation can feed into the boys will be boys narrative and reinforce a disregard. Challenging this narrative can open up conversations around the implications of identity for women's relationships with cheating, the effects of trauma from cheating, the gender stigma surrounding those who decide to stay in a relationship after an affair, and the healing process after being cheated on. Then the narratives surrounding cheating can be more fully discussed to promote stronger relationships before, after an affair.